she had the girls moving. She was not playing. Like, I was not about to be big on her watch. No big box on her watch, okay? Hi, family. Welcome back to CAYA. We are on episode 5. That's 10. 5. I know CAYA has been love-coded for the last 2 episodes, so of course we are now out of February, but we would be remiss without talking about Black history, like, hello? Today, we're celebrating Black History Month in a way that feels personal. Black history isn't just something that we read about. It lives in our curls, our classroom, and our creativity, and the future we are building today. I'm joined here by Kayla, a good friend of mine and a recent graduate of Johns Hopkins University. We love an educated queen. Okay, so without further ado, here is Kayla. Hi. So we're very excited to have you on the show today. We're gonna get into, like I said, the 3 segments. So y'all, I'm excited because I was like, look, honestly, before she came, I was like, we're gonna do a Black history theme, whatever. And the girl came brown and I came in brown. We did not plan that. We love it. We're gonna start with segment 1, roots and identity. So Black history is often told through books and dates, but I feel like our hair identity carries history too. So when you think about your curls, what history or legacy do you feel like you connect to?
I feel like, because like when you first said the question, I feel like I was thinking about it as more of like a
timeline, and like
timeline of like my own self, just like being a kid, like into now.
Oh, but that'd be interesting too. You could do it that way too.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say, like, as a child, I feel like my hair was typically always like braided up, like for the most part. My mom used to always do like cornrows and stuff like that. I was probably like one of the only Black girls that don't have the story with like
the bubbles.
No, with perms, like it'd be like,
oh, you're like, oh, when I was 3. No,
my mom permed my hair.
My mom permed my hair, and that's why my hair ain't long, girl.
No, my mom was so like anti-perm, anti-chemicals. So like I've always been a natural girly. I want to say maybe when I got to like middle school or whatever, I probably started like pressing my hair out more, but that was usually really just for like special like occasions. I don't think I've ever really felt connected to myself like in those styles. And I feel like even now, like when my hair is like out, or like, you know, I'll wear like wigs and stuff like that, or get like a bust down. It's like
40.
Yeah, it's like I'm liking it. It's like, okay, it looks pretty, but like I have always felt very connected to like big hair, and not even really just like curls, but I feel like I've always definitely been like a volume girl over like a curly
volume
girl.
over definition.
Yeah.
Which are you guys volume over definition? Okay.
Yeah, I've always been like team like volume, but I feel like I'm honestly just in such a period where I feel like I'm just lazy, where I'm like, I don't really want to take the time to like do the things that I need to do to achieve that look. So it's like, I feel like in default I am relating to just, okay, let me do like braids and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, like when you look good, you feel good. So that is something I feel like I should try to be more intentional about.
But I feel like that's real, and a lot of girls can relate, because even like from my past episodes, I've been getting this common theme of either we too busy, we don't have time to do the hair. And so like my other episode, I was talking with my other guest about like, she just pulled her hair back in a bun and she just kept doing it. Or she was like repetitively just doing wigs because she didn't really have time to do her hair. Her hair was just falling out. Like, no shade, no tea. But like, you know, I think that is a common thing. I think that's real though. I'm not going to sit here and say natural hair isn't
time consuming.
Ain't time consuming, because it is time consuming. Like, which kind of leads me to my next question. Historically, Black hair was, you know, something that we were kind of taught to kind of like hide, change, or kind of like make smaller in society, I feel like. So do you feel like wearing your hair today is some type of form of like a quiet rebellion?
I'll say yes, and because I feel like
why you say that, sister?
Quiet rebellion part, I want to say maybe when I was in like high school, I feel like maybe I would have related a little bit more today. Now at 23, I can't say like I feel like that so much, but I feel like that's also just because like
you're more woke. I don't know, or maybe not. At least still got work to do.
I'll say it's not as uncommon, and I would say like in the last like decade or so, I feel like the natural hair movement has been progressing in a way where it's like, even if you don't see people like that, I feel like you are seeing people like on social media or something. So it's like you do have some form of exposure to it. But in that same breath, I feel like I would be lying if I say like I don't like, you know, switch it up depending on the
So when you be switching it
setting.
up? When you be switching it up?
Like honestly, like if I was going to an interview or something, I feel like that's something I would definitely be very like
and why?
Conscious.
Let's unpack that.
I don't know. I feel like image is everything, and I know I'm a person that I feel like I do hyperfixate like on my image, and it's not even more so of like, you know, like I feel like this looks bad, but it's like I never know like what's going on in somebody else's like head. Yeah, like, you know, like that is something you should not discriminate against somebody for, but it still happens. That's just the reality.
We still live in a world where. Do you feel like there's a correlation between like natural hair and professionalism?
Like if I had like my hair out, it'd probably like be something like this. Honestly, no. Once I get that job, I sign that paperwork. No, I'm coming in how I want to come in. If my hair is out and big, if it's pulled back, if it's up sideways, I can't say that I wouldn't fake the funk a little bit to like, you know, make sure I get there. Like I said, I know it's bad, but it's just
like you feel like it's still relevant. Like it's still, yeah. Do you think it depends also on the type of industry?
Yeah, like I feel like for me now, like when I'm working like in a school setting, it's like, you know,
you feel more flexible.
Yeah, so it's like honestly, like if you wanted to come in there like with your like hair wrapped or something like that, they're not gonna, you know, they're not gonna say anything. They're used to seeing people like of all different like walks of their life. But corporate America, on the other hand,
we still got some work to do.
They're not as welcoming. So, you know, like you wanted to open up a conversation with texturism and stuff like that, you know, like the loose curl girls, they could get away with that. Pinky babes, no, like.
And why do you say that? Texturism, okay, because let's get into texturism because we already brought it up, so let's get into it. So, like, how do you feel like girls with looser curls? Do you think that they have it easier or they're more accepted versus girls who have tighter, coiler hair?
Definitely.
Okay.
That's
what she's basically saying. I'm trying to say, y'all. I'm getting it out of her.
Yeah. I would say like on the opposite side, the flip side, I feel like the only time where it's like more acceptable, like for girls with kinky hair, where they won't really like say anything, is like if their hair is like super long. Even that is still like side eye.
Side eye. This is going to be the interactive part of segment 1. So this is called Roots and Rewrites. So I'm going to say a statement, and you tell me if it's rooted in history or it's something that we're rewriting today. Prompt number 1 is natural hair being banned in schools.
Rooted.
In history?
Roots.
Correct! Okay, number 2. The Crown Act protecting natural hair.
Rewrite it. That was passed 2019?
Oh, look at you knowing years and dates. Yeah. So for those who don't know, the Crown Act is basically like everyone of all different hairstyles and types to not be discriminated against in the workplace and anywhere they go, and also having a hairstyle not be something that stops you from being employed or gaining certain opportunities. So T. Okay, 3. Straight hair being seen as professional, which is like we kind of talked about that a little bit, but what would you say? Rooted in history. Yeah, that's been something that's been passed down from a minute because, you know, that's why I also asked you about like the straight bun thing, because I feel like normally like we look at like other beauty standards and their hair is pulled back in a bun, like that's the professional hairstyle, like nothing too big, nothing too distracting.
I feel like our parents also low-key had like a hand and stuff like that. Like even when I was talking about like school pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
do a straight hair.
Every black girl had their hair pressed out.
I mean, I was one of the girls that was excited like when that happened. But my mom, like she was Dominican, so we grew up with having our hair like straight and blown out and stuff like that. It was like that was like fancy. It was nice. 4, representation in textbooks and media.
You're right.
Yeah, that we're still rewriting that today. My queens, we are getting more visibility. Like Kayla was saying earlier too, like we have more influencers, we have more people to look up to in terms of natural hair. Like we have more work ahead of us, but like we're still rewriting that today. It's not totally something that's been already there. 5, natural hair maintenance and widespread knowledge.
I feel like a little bit of both, low key.
I wouldn't say rewriting, but I'm curious to say why you say history.
We have always, at least like in my like family, like I feel like everybody was pretty like well versed on like.
Oh, they know how to do their hair?
Yeah, like natural like hair and stuff like that. But I was gonna say larger like society wide. Like for the people that were saying like they used to get like perms and stuff like that, or people didn't really know how to like treat their hair. That's why I'm like a little bit of like
it could be both. You could be both. Like your answer could be both. Because I do feel like growing up, I think there has been knowledge about hair or natural hair, but I feel like maintaining it or the products that we use, like I feel like now there's been this shift of like no parabens, like, no like all that stuff because it dries out our hair, like because you know past beauty standards, stuff like that don't bother other people's types of hair, but it bothers ours. It's sensitive, knowing that our hair is more like we have to hydrate our hair way more. We also don't need to wash it as much. Like there's just different things I feel like we've been learning about like natural hair. To your point, there's like old stylists, beauticians that have been doing hair for a minute and know how to do natural hair. So
yeah.
Okay, so we are on segment 2. Basically, so segment 2 is Black history and modern legacy. So we're going to talk a little bit about modern day people and also our ancestors. We're going to talk about Black women. So when you think about Black women before us, like, you know, in olden days, artists, activists, how do you think they paved the way for how we express ourselves today?
Honestly, I'll say like I think that they paved the way by just really being like unapologetically themselves and like even just like showing up in spaces and taking up like space where it's like that might not look like, you know, like what it looked like at that time. But like I feel like even like when you look back on like pictures on like Google, like those stock photos and stuff like that, you'll always see the woman with like the big afros or like the big earrings and stuff like that. So it's like they were always there, but I feel like
pioneer.
We be kind of like looking at things from a stance where it's like, okay, like 26?
Yes.
Okay, like 26, 23. So it's like, you know, for the most part, we're really only looking at things from like when we were born. For like as you know, from as far up as like we can remember. But it's like this is stuff that has been going on for years. Like we're not the first people to do it. Like yeah, like we're continuing it, but it's like no, like people have always been in like those spaces.
That's also like 70s, 80s. It was loud. I'm proud with it. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like before, like all the wigs and stuff, there was a lot of natural. Like they were doing little pixie cuts in the 90s. Like they was definitely doing the natural hair. Now I feel like it's a balance between both. Because technically, like wigs is still a form of natural hair. You have your hair is protected underneath, you know.
I don't feel like they were wearing it as much though, honestly. But
yeah, no, they were really just wearing their hair. My second question for you is who is a Black woman you are inspired by today and why?
Ava DuVernay. That's my girl.
Wait, who?
Ava DuVernay.
Okay.
You know her?
No.
Did you watch A Wrinkle in Time?
No. I'm under a rock, y'all. I'm sorry.
Did you watch The Boys, the Central Park 5 Boys?
Yes.
Okay, that's her. She produced all those films.
Oh, okay, producer.
So she's done a lot of big like Black films like that. She's been like probably like one of my inspirations since like high school. I want to say like my senior year of high school. I feel like I just really always like resonated like with her art because like back then I used to do like a lot of like poetry and stuff like that, and I was always just very inspired by like how she was able to like make stories like that come to life. It just moves you. Like you feel.
Do you feel like she also plays a part in our representation today? Or she's like just storytelling?
I feel like that's like what she's trying to do with like telling these stories where it's like people don't typically like hear about them and stuff like that. Like I'd never heard of the Central Park 5 before like watching that. No, that's true. And then,
it wasn't even during our time. So it's like she definitely is she's a good way of bringing stories back to life.
Making sure like people don't like forget. In her own way, she's trying to like serve like justice like through her art. So
since we're already on like representation, like media, like how you see yourself, have you like at any point of your life, because you also was saying how you don't feel as connected to your hairstyles when you were talking about like being younger till now, XYZ. Did you ever have a love-hate relationship with your hair at any point?
I think, yeah, I feel like maybe in like elementary, like middle school, I feel like I was kind of starting to see like a shift in like having like that love-hate. I feel like for me, it was more about length at that point though. I had pretty like long hair, but I feel like in comparison to like everyone like else like that was like around me or like in my inner circle at the time, it was like, yo. And I feel like sometimes,
were you comparing like your hair length to other girls' hair lengths?
Yeah, or trying to like do like certain styles that they could do. And not to say that I couldn't do those styles, but it's like it wasn't looking like how I wanted it.
No, but that's true though. We all have so many different types of hair in the natural hair community that it's also hard like when we start sharing our hairstyles and how things come out on us, because if someone's watching it, you got to also understand what their hair type is, like how their shrinkage is, like how much hair they have, because all of that plays into how much time it's going to take, what your final results are going to look like. So it's like, then when you do it, you're like, wait, it's like, why my shade coming out like that?
In my household too, because like I probably had like the thickest hair out of like everybody in my household. Like my mom has like her hair's like pretty like fine. It's always been like very fine and stuff like that. So even with like her like tending like to my hair, I feel like she always knew like what to do. But I remember like sometimes I used to get like even frustrated with her like with ponytails, because like my mom,
you gotta section it. You gotta section it. Like the girls with the finer hair, they be like,
she be like spray some water and just
one scrunchie.
Ways. I feel like that was a part of like my love hate like relationship with hair, like learning like, okay, like girl, you really gotta figure out like what works well.
So now this brings me to our second segment, or interactive segment for segment 2. So this is going to be a fun game, which you should be okay, but it's going to be guess influencer or ancestor. So I'm going to just say a name, and you're going to tell me if you think they're an ancestor, one of our ancestors, or you're going to let me know if you feel like they're an influencer.
Okay.
And you don't really have to explain why. Just say influencer or ancestor.
Gotcha.
Okay. So number 1. So Madam C.J. Walker.
Ancestor.
You're right. Backstory. This is the girl. She's the first self-made millionaire in the U.S. Black woman to grow wealth through hair care products. See, she's paving the way for our natural hair. Okay, doing good. Number 2, Jackie Anna.
Influencer.
Yeah, she's a beauty creator and entrepreneur. T. 3, Shirley Chisholm.
Oh, ancestor.
Right.
I love her park. Go to the bike ride hike.
No, she does have a fire park. I'm not gonna lie. If y'all in Brooklyn, y'all know. Of course, the first Black woman in the U.S. Congress. T.
Let's go, Shirley.
Never was scared to speak up. 4, Ice Spice.
Influencer.
Okay, see, this is not too bad. You sweating when I said, okay. 5, Mae Johnson. Ancestor. First Black woman astronaut to go to space.
That's what I was telling you. A Wrinkle in Time. That's what the movie's about.
Oh, yeah. Number 6, Zora Neale Hurston. I hope I'm not, butchering these people's names. Don't come for me later. Ancestor. Yeah, she was a Harlem Renaissance writer. Okay, Tyler.
Influencer.
Make me artist, of course. Kai Cenat. Influencer streamer. Okay, he's doing some big things. I really feel like he's trying to transition. He's doing a lot of. He also is like paving a new type of like social media. I mean, with streaming, it's like now everyone's doing streaming, which maybe Kai goes streaming. I don't know. Number 9, Malcolm X.
Ancestor.
Come on, civil rights leader, Nation of Islam. Period. Okay, last one.
My brother.
Last one, we have to say the Black History Month. Come on, Martin Luther King. And the duo Rosa Parks. Okay, we never send it back of the bus. No, we do sometimes. If I'm on MT, maybe maybe sometimes. But Black History Month, we all sitting in the front. No, you know that videos like Caucasians to the back.
Immediately.
And this is round 2, so this is basically the same thing.
Okay.
It's a flash thing. So they're all like influencers. No one is the ancestor.
Okay.
But you're basically going to just tell me, I'm going to say their name, and you're going to tell me just one sentence on like how they influence you, or if they haven't influenced you, how they influence society in some way. Okay. Beyonce. Inspired you?
Oh, wait, you said a sentence, not a word. Sorry. Beyonce has inspired me through her moves. Her body. Her body's tea.
Even after the baby's tea.
Wait, no, her hair too. I invested in Sacred. I did invest in Sacred.
We're gonna do a product
the hair oil drops, but I got the shampoo and the
I love the clarifying shampoo.
It's real good. And you only need a little bit. It gets really sudsy.
Indian, we have Miss Serena Williams.
I'll say she's made an impact by probably one of the only like Black women to like play tennis, and I feel like we don't typically see a lot of Black women in sports outside of like track and field. So she's definitely diversifying.
Period. Tennis is one of those sports that's like, it's a little bit more diverse now, but like she definitely was one of the first Black women to really be successful. Oprah Winfrey.
You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Oprah got that bread, yo.
You know, she got the money. I definitely feel like she paved the way to let us know that you can be a self-made. What is she? Billionaire now? Probably billionaire.
Yes.
First, she got to the back.
She has her own network.
Yes,
Oprah Winfrey Network. Own. Oprah is really like a jack of all trades. So
Michelle Obama.
Oh my God, it's really. She really inspired me. Remember when she was in office?
Get out and play?
Yes! Get that ass. She had the girls move and she was not playing them school lunches and everything, yo. Like, I was not about to be big on her watch.
No big backs on her watch, okay? First lady, first Black first lady. And last one, Rihanna. Her birthday was yesterday. Shout out, happy birthday to you.
I'll say I love that she's taking a stance, but like, you know, even though we're like, Rihanna, come back to music. No, she don't want to come back to music. She want to have her kids. She want to be a mother. She dropped Fenty. You see, she didn't even respond to us. They'd be like, oh, we're gonna get an album.
Yeah, next year, next month. Get out of my face. Really? Nah, but she has done a lot with like, she even has, she has Fenty here now, right?
She has Fenty here now?
I think she does. And then she has, obviously she has makeup, and like she was one of the first ones to like really have all skin tones. Because let's talk about it. There was a lot of dark-skinned women who did not have makeup products that fit their skin color. Like I think it only stopped at like a certain like shade or something like that, or they would just like literally put black in the bottle and be like, yeah, here, use this.
She was being really inclusive, even when she did like the Fenty like lingerie and stuff like that. I remember seeing.
She did plus size too, right?
She did plus size, and she also did like people that had dwarfism. Oh, yes, I remember I saw that.
So she's like, she's very inclusive in all of her lines. Like she makes sure to like include everybody. Like that. Which leads us to our last segment. So this is Black Joy, Future, and Generations. My question to you is: Black history is often focused on that struggle. It's often focused on the struggle, but Black history is about joy. There are fun moments of Black history. So what does Black joy look like to you?
I don't know. When I think of Black joy, I just think back to like the early 2000s. Like, and maybe that's just because like we were young, we didn't know what was going on in the world. But like, I just think about like being outside, like just having fun.
A good time.
Like,
so before the phones, it's that damn
low key before I had a phone, but like I wasn't as glued into it as I am now. I can say that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like families were more like oriented. It was more like community and stuff like that. That's really what I think of when I'm thinking of like Black joy, like just being surrounded like by your community. Food. That's what it's gonna be.
Food will forever connect Black joy. Everybody and Black joy goes together. Because like even for me, I agree though. I feel like when we were younger, like we had, I don't know if you were going to more block parties. Like we actually had block parties. Like you had big family events. Like everybody came together. It was like a big time. Like now I feel like everybody's a little bit more separated. Got their own things going on.
So far.
Yeah.
Like
when it comes to food, that definitely brings Black joy for me because we can get down.
We be eating like.
I used to go to my granny's house excited, like, oh, like she makes the best mac and cheese, she makes the best cakes. So it's like when I think of Black joy, I think of my grandma. What's that dance that we always do at every function? Oh, are you about to get over this?
What, the two-step?
No, wait. Is that it? No, it's not called two-step. Electric slide.
That is it, to Candy.
Right. Okay. So,
yes, that's my Black joy.
On the note of legacy, right? Do you feel like Blackness is celebrated enough in society, and do you feel like that relates to our hair in any ways?
I don't think it's celebrated enough. You know, I could even talk about how they give us the shortest month to celebrate.
But you know, I'm not gonna get the 28 months.
But no, I don't feel like it is. Like, I don't know. And also too, like the way in which other people see like Blackness is always so like interesting to me. Like I don't know. I've always wanted to have like a conversation with like somebody like white or like Asian and just like, yo, like, how do you see us? And I just really want them to be like as like unfiltered like as possible. Like, I'm not even gonna take offense, but it's just really like, yo, like what meets your eyes like when you're seeing us like in our like elements?
You want to know what's tea? Okay, so my last question to you for this last segment is there anything you want to destigmatize when it comes to natural hair, or how we are rewriting the history like for more futures to come?
I want us to all get to a point of doing what works for us. Like, I know we laugh about it like on social media, like, oh, like the division and stuff like that, but it's like not like what works for that person. If somebody wants to like get a perm or like straighten their hair all the time, that's what works for them. Maybe that's what makes them feel good. If you want to, like, you know what I'm saying, do your wash and goes, you do that. But I don't feel like we need to be like, oh, like throwing things down each other for like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this, because like you don't know what that person like wants, or like what is going to make them like feel good. And I feel like that was originally like the point of like the natural hair movement. We want to make people feel good about like just being themselves.
And I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier of like what style might look good for me may not look good for you, or like because there's also movement of like, oh, I'm a straight natural. You know, like if that's what works for you, and having your hair stretched out and having it not necessarily relaxed, but just having it straight all the time, if that works for you, like do that. Like don't let the natural hair come and tell you don't love your hair because it's not always coily or it's not an afro or whatever it is.
We all gotta find like
what makes you feel confident
in the world. And like for some people, like maybe you dibble dabble in like all of that. For some people, like they find like their signature style, and like that's
them. So our last interactive segment for segment 3 is going to be called Finish the Legacy. So I'm going to give her a prompt, and then she's going to finish the sentence off. So Black history is important because we need to know where we came from. And like I said, I'm not going to go on a tangent, but you know, like what was taught to us in textbooks and in school is very different than like, you know, reality.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like I know more about like Black history now through like social media or people like talking about things than I did in school. And I'm like,
there's a lot of TikToks going around of like how actually brutal slavery was. Like they diluted that thing so much in the text. Listen,
yeah.
Okay. When I think of Black excellence,
I was gonna say I think of myself.
Period. In what ways?
Like if you would have told me like at 8 years old, like, oh my God, like I would have went on to be published in like research papers, like travel to like conferences, go to Johns Hopkins, like I feel like I would have been like, what? Like, not to say that I couldn't do it, but just like how I imagined getting there is not like it wasn't the road there, but you know, I got there.
You ended there.
And I did it, and I finished strong.
So third prompt is my hair represents
my moods. Like I feel like I be changing my hair a lot, which I need to stop doing.
Well, we love a versatile queen.
Like just the other day, I hadn't twist guys, but I had those twists in for like 6 weeks. But I was like, I'm not in the mood for these anymore. I'm taking it out. And I'm like, I want something new.
I love my hair when
out of volume.
Like she said, she was like volume over definition. Okay, y'all see the path. Last prompt. My Black girl magic moment is.
My Black girl magic moment is pouring into like younger like Black girls, like especially like.
Oh my God! Literally, that leads to my last question.
Yeah. Like I have like nieces and like younger sisters. Really like my niece though. Like I feel like that's something I'd be like, no, like any hairstyle she got, I'm like, girl, like you look good, like you look great, like just like making sure she like feel all that love, because like it really does matter. I know people be saying like, oh, they don't remember. No, kids are gonna remember how you made them feel, and like you know, if you made them feel like good. So I try to be really intentional about that, because I know I definitely like had that growing up.
Make them feel beautiful in their natural hair. So our closing question is, what message would you like to give to young Black girls who are still learning to love their curls, their skin, and their voice? So I was like, oh, it's perfect you said that, because that was my closing question.
All the young girls, I'll say, this is a cliche. I'm gonna just start with a cliche. I'm not gonna end it there. Love yourself. Love all that you are, every shade, every side, every color, every feature you have on yourself. I'll say something too, because like I said, I know it's a cliche, but something that I used to do, like when I would like struggle with confidence, I would try to just find like one thing like every day where it's like, I really like this, just to like build up to it. So like
give us an example.
Like I'll be like, I didn't used to like my nose. I don't know why. I just didn't feel like it really like,
well, I'm feeling it,
fit me or whatever. It was just something I would say. I'd be like, oh, like I love my nose.
Like you saying it to yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, where's the affirmation?
Yeah, literally. Like, oh, like I love my nose, or just like actually like if you can find something about yourself, even if you feel like it's silly, like I love the way I walk. Like I love the way like I switch my hips. Like I love my style, but like
that thing be moving.
Eventually, like you'll come to like love all those parts of yourself.
Okay, so thank you so much, Kayla, for sharing your legacy, the way you embrace your curls, a little bit of your family, your background, everything. Black History isn't just something we celebrate once a year. It's in our classrooms, curls, voices, the future we're building every single day. If this conversation spoke to you, make sure you subscribe, like, and drop a comment below. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. We got so many more powerful conversations coming your way. Before you go, answer this in the comments. How do you honor your history through your hair and your voice? Here's to us wearing our crowns and continuing to celebrate Black History Month past February.